Welcome to the Wolfkeeper, a show that's just about everything that you could maybe think about, everything that you can feel that's inside of your heart. What I need for you to do right now is spend the next hour relaxing. Just stop your day before you go into 12 o'clock. And I just want y'all to close your minds, open your hearts, and relax and go on this journey with me. It's a beautiful place that you're about to go, because I want to make you feel, I want to just open you up and think about some things you never really thought about right now. The Wolfkeeper. Come on. Good morning, y'all. Come on. It's the Wolfkeeper show. Get ready. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. It's the Wolfkeeper show. Your boy, Toriano Sanzoni. Yeah. Chanelli Nell. My boy Tyrone Scott somewhere rocking the Doogie Dogs. Denzel's in his house. Shacky Shack. And for all the people out there that love us, we love you back. Thank you all. Get ready for an amazing show with the Wolfkeeper. Get ready. Here we go. We have a tradition here on the Wolfkeeper show, Dr. Blue, and we'd be remiss if we didn't include you in that tradition, because I know you were a man of tradition. We do the wolf howl. So on 3, I need you to clear your lungs out. Go back to the church. Here we go. Go deep. I need to go deep back in that Sunday school church. You ready? Chanel, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Then looking at me like, what's wrong with you?
World famous, my brother from another mother, Dr. Blue, Diarra Blue, man.
Dr. Blue, good to have you back.
Because the whole families are blues, and I was at a barbecue with my family in Houston, and Dr. Blue was like, well, you know I'm the real Blue. And like, your brother was like, how are you the real Blue? All our last name is Blue.
It's the truth, man. It's the truth. I'm the real Blue. My daddy was the real Blue, but he's gone now. You know, God rest his soul. So I'm the Blue. You know, my sister, she's Noir. My brother, he T. It's me. I'm Dr. Blue. No, I'm just joking, dog. We all Blues, man.
But that's what I love about you, man, because you are like, I want people to feel this show and go out and be motivated and know that everything can happen in your life because you're from Detroit. We're keeping it real. You know what I mean? Detroit, there's some places we don't like to go to in Detroit. You know,
Detroit's a beautiful place, man. East side of Detroit's a great place to be from, man. You know?
Don't stop at red lights. Keep driving.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Nah, you know, anywhere. That's any zip code in the world. But, you know, we're talking about in America, that's anywhere, including Chicago. You know, it's always those places, but, you know, I think the world is understanding. And
but I mean,
poverty is a real thing. It gets better.
Detroit, but here's a little black boy with a dream that goes to one of the most prestigious colleges in the world.
TU?
I mean, we're going to talk about that because a lot of people speak of the fact that Tuskegee University as one of the most world-renowned vet universities. It's a historically black university. People around the world go there, number one. And then not only do you graduate with honors, do it, sitting on the board, running stuff for your college alma mater. You like Tuskegee with the Tuskegee University clock in the background. I see you. Boom. Then you open up successfully with your boys, not one but 2 veterinarian clinics. And you go ahead and put out a TV show where you're doing 1.3 million people per episode. That you are my hero. You're my brother. Tell us, how does a black boy from the Detroit land with all the social unrest and craziness and injustices that be going against brothers and black folks for thousands of years rise above to become Dr. Blue? Tell us.
Yeah. Man, well, first off, foremost,
beautiful.
Thank you for having me back. I really appreciate it. Love to talk to both of you guys. And I'm trying to figure out can I get an anthem? You got your own theme music, bro. Shout out to you for your theme music. I need like a band walking behind me playing.
Okay.
You know, Chanel with her debut album. And before we go, I'm going to come up with an anthem off the top of her dome because she's like the Mary J. Blige. You
know, Toriano is a jack of all trades. He's making an album right now as we speak.
Oh wow! So clearly he can split himself in two. So yeah, that's super special.
Hey,
but no,
not to get that 1.2 million people per followership. So tell us how you doing all this, man.
So you know what? I'm gonna be straight up and down, you know, and I hate to sound cliches, but it's the way I live my life. I hope other people live that way. First of all, I gotta give honor to God. That's just the truth, man. It's a true blessing because I wouldn't be here without God, and it's something that He's given me my gifts and my purpose and my reason, and I've worked and tried to flourish in that. So that's the bottom line. Now, when we go over that, you know, it's one of those things where top and bottom. That's Zebo, top and bottom. So, you know, it's one of those things where I have a great mother. I had a great father. I had a great community. You know, I'm from a community where, you know, we say that it takes a village to raise a child. You know, my neighborhood is East Side as it was, as Detroit as it was. You know, I was born on in the East Side, and I lived on Rosemary off Gratiot. You know, so everybody from the D know where that is. They know where that is. But you know, we were during a time in the early '80s that we had a great time as kids. We had a great foundation, and then the school I went to was probably one of the major things called Aisha Shule. You know, as a matter of fact, your girl Shashu. You know, they Aisha Shule, W.E.B. Du Bois Preparatory Academy. The names speak volumes for itself. You can just imagine what they taught the students, and it taught us to be the people that we were going to be. It taught us to look back and go back and fetch it. You know, for us to return to our traditional greatness. You know, to understanding what our traditional greatness is and was, and what is going to be in the future.
But how does a little black kid? I want to bring this out because. I was in the music industry for 1,000 years. I worked for Prince. I worked for Puffy. I've seen everybody, right? I worked at BMG, Usher, competitive industry, music industry crashed in 2000. jumped into the dog industry and was like, wow, it's more competitive than it's more competitive than the music industry. So here you are in Detroit. I'm a dog trainer. I'm being sarcastic right now. I'm at the bottom of the food chain, right? Veterinarian, I mean, you don't, MD, they know the human anatomy. You have to be able to hook up a dog, a cat, a cow. I mean, when I was down there, you all had some weird exotic thing that I didn't want to be around. Some
Lategu, that big lizard. Lategu.
I'm like, dude, I don't want to afraid to go in your back room because you don't know what's back there. I mean, how does that dream come to fruition from growing up? I'm keeping it real. We from
100.
We're not from. We keep some stuff, but then how do they get in your head as a kid? Like, I'm gonna go become a doctor.
Right. Yeah. So, we got this saying that we always say: if you can't see it, you can't be it. And I think to some instance that is really true, and that's why it's so important for people like me. People like, our predecessors, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson's, any of the Michaels, right? Any of the Michaels, Michael Jordan, Jackson, Tyson. It was always important for us to see those figures as kids because we knew we could play sports. We knew we could box. We knew we could be singers, entertainment. But I'll be honest with you, I never saw a black veterinarian. I was like, again, from the east side of my family, I don't remember them taking our dogs to the vet. If they did, they had to do it for rabies because we were in some dog shows, but I've never been. So I don't remember seeing one. I can tell you the one person I saw, it wasn't a black guy. It was Jack Hanna. He ain't even a vet. Remember Jack Hanna? Jack Hanna. Jack Hanna he's literally secretly one of my heroes because growing up, that was the person that I used to see like on CBS or PBS, whatever, as a kid on Saturdays. I would wake up to see him with these cool animals. Right. And that was, something that I saw. I don't know what said I was going to be a vet. I just know as a child, I always said I was going to be a vet. You can ask my mom, you're going to be a vet. I mean, I would tell her, I want to be a vet. I've been talking about animals all my life. My parents instilled that in me because they loved animals. They took good care of animals. They was in dog shows. My dad did dog training. And, it's one of those things that my mother used to buy me these little flashcards. And it would be like a snow leopard on the front with like the basic facts. And then you flip it over and it's like just an encyclopedia on the back. And I'm like, I ain't no big reader, but I read everything in there. You can't get me to read like just a book for pleasure. But these cards with animals on it, I read the whole thing and read it good. And that was kind of the basis. And like I said, I just always had a knack for animals. And I took that, and I know what you're saying. Like nobody from the hood or even from urban, whatever you want to call it, or just black people in general, talking about being veterinarians. It was a gift that was mine, and I appreciate it because now I've been able to take that, and I'm sure we'll get into it. But I've been able to put on Front Street like Michael Jordan did for all the kids, like Magic Johnson did for all the kids, like Michael Jackson did, like Stevie did, like all of our famous actors, like Denzel did, for these kids to see, like this is another avenue and it's real. I can do it. I don't just hear about it, I actually see it on TV.
And we did it, and I just want to tell people how we met. Shout out to my mom. Our moms are how we got here because my mom and her girlfriend swapped off for a long time. They raised African hounds in the 70s. Got into the dog training game. So you and I were developing in Detroit on the west side of Chicago at the same time. You finally with me because my mom, she loves your TV show. I love telling this story because I'm in Austin and she's like, I called them up and they said it's cool for you to go down there to visit them. I'm like, but here's Austin, here's Houston. It's not like a 10-minute drive. Like, oh, you should go down there and see them. I'm like, man, I'm going to get down here. You guys are like, who are you? Like, my mom sent me to see you. Yeah.
He said, I'm a grown man. My mama sent me to see you.
Like, hey, shut up, get out of here. Anyway, take a leap of faith, jump in I think, what is it, 2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah, it's about 2 hours from Austin.
Anyway, so we in the hood, we call it a blank mission. Meaning, for those that might not know what a blank mission is, because Chanel's in the suburbs. She's a suburban girl.
Don't do that.
Cut it out. I know what a yeah. Thank you. Oh my God.
Don't do it like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Definitely know what a blank mission. You sent me on blank missions plenty of times, Toriano.
That is true. All right, so
that's a whole nother show.
So I'm like, but a 20-minute blank mission that I have since Chanel on for 20-minute, 30-minute blank missions. That's one thing, but a potential blank mission when you're driving, not for sure. And I want to admit, I'm going to admit, I'm like, man, these brothers going to be on some super Hollywood. Like, dude, really?
Bougie, like, highfalutin.
Like, come on. I got down there, 2-hour mission, went straight to the vet clinic. It was like, what's up? Like, yeah, we know. Like, yeah, your mom, like, let me give you a tour, gave me a tour, invited me out to dinner, went to a crazy, had sushi, jazz club, and kicked it for like 3 days straight. Like,
it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you're not just the vet clinic, the fact that you're just not doing a TV show, but you all, I mean, talk about, and we got so much to talk about. We got Jim a whole bunch in. We're already 28 minutes in. We got Jim a lot in. The thing that people don't know about you all is that how family oriented, because you all don't just, it's not just on TV. You all kick it and hang out. Like, Chanel, we got to go to Houston, but they have family days on Sundays like no other. Like, you will get it in, and
let's go.
You don't want to leave. That's why when you said, hey, Toriano, why don't you come down? Why aren't you down here in Houston? I said, don't say that, man. Like, hey, no one better not make me mad today or I'm out. I'm not in Houston. But tell them how much that behind the scenes you don't really know regarding just that energy, how you all hang together.
So, like, you know, TV make you think that all people are just these people floating around about in the world, and then they get together for a TV show because they get money, so they get paid to sit together, and they act out that they're friends. That's not the case here. Dr. Ross is literally my best friend. Dr. Lavigne is literally my best friend. We call each other brothers. We argue like brothers. We fight like brothers. We hang out like brothers. His kids, my kids, his kids, their kids, our kids. And that's just how it is. We've been that for years. And that's actually the recipe to our success is that we don't just have a buy-sell agreement when you're talking legal talk between partners in a business where things go bad or you want to get out of the business and you got to buy out and sell out and call lawyers. We also got a blood oath, minus the blood and rubbing finger part. That part's weird, but we got actual blood oath. And the truth is, if I really dive into it, if I dove into it and told you, you'd be like, wow, they serious. Like, you can't get out. You can't get out. It's the three of us. Can't nobody else get in. The three of us are gonna own, and that is what it is. There's no out unless you die. You can die out, but our partnership is real. And we literally sat down and prayed and had conversations about this money that we're trying to make ain't gonna never go to our head. This business is power. It's about the legacy. It's about these animals. It's about our family. And we got to do what we got to do to stay friends. Because if you get mad at me, my wife going to call your wife and they going to be trying to figure out why the heck y'all ain't talking. Yeah. That don't work well. Oh, why I can't go see my cousin Dean or Dylan? Oh, we don't go over there no more. What? What do you mean we don't go over there, Dad? You know? So, you know, why I can't go over to Ann's house and eat? Auntie, we don't do that. So, you have to treat it like family. But that's the truth. I mean, we real family. And I'm from a big family. Right. I went to Flint, Michigan every other weekend to spend time with my family in Flint, my mother's side of the family. So I'm halfway a Flintstone. So, I mean, that's just where it is, man. We family-based people. And at the end of the day, man, you know, there's so much crap in the world. I almost hate looking at the news now. I actually do. The truth is, man, people forget to just be human, man.
Amen.
Sometimes we got to get off that horse and just be like, just be a person. Like, just be a person,
right?
Dog.
Just be you,
be a person.
Right.
Not even just be you. Because sometimes you ain't good. There's some people that just ain't good.
And
just be
some people don't even know who you is.
Just be a person and understand. Right. Listen.
And you keep it real too, man. I'm gonna object to one thing you said, that you had this bond. It was just you three, because I didn't even know what I was getting involved in, and I got pulled into the family. Because, I mean, I have Dr. Ross's dog up here right now. I've been, like, training. The fact that he's dog, he's in Houston. And he's, like, he's from Houston. He's not even, like...
Right. What's his Skate, right? Skate? Yeah, Skate.
I got three up here that he's on. And he kept it real. He said, I want you to train my dog for my brother as a seizure detection dog because we run out of options with the medication. And I really need this dog to be trained, which I was like, that felt heavy. You know what I mean? Like,
you made the show.
And they put me on the show. And I
made the show.
I love you all because you don't know how long I've been trying to be on somebody's TV. Chanel knows this. I'm trying to be on someone's TV show. I knew you all within 4, not even that. It was like, you want to be on the show? I was like, word? Like, yeah. You want to be on the show? Put me on the show. put the dog in my care, sent me so many clients. We talk all the time. I mean, we unfortunately have to talk about this, but let's talk about it. You know, we have all this social unrest going on in the world. I mean, you got Kenosha, Wisconsin going crazy. I got family and friends there. People that I'm not blood family, but people that call me up like, man, Kenosha's going down. I got clients and homies in Rochester. I was getting text messages from Rochester like every minute this weekend, right? Rochester's going down. I lived in Minnesota for 10 years. All that stuff trickles over to Detroit, Houston, and Texas. You all are dealing with, because I mean, racism is keep it real. Racism is real down there in Texas. My cousins are down there, right?
Absolutely.
And you got COVID. Absolutely. How, I mean, as a black man in America, you know what I mean? And you all got some nice vehicles. Let's just paint some, and I got some nice vehicles, you know what I mean? I've seen the motorcycles, I've seen the cars and all that stuff. But
I got a 2009 F-150 with 250,000 miles on it, just for the record. That's what I drive. 250,000 miles.
You're not talking about the Lambo.
That ain't I wish.
But where I'm going with this is that, how have you, because people got shocked when I said this. I said, I've been probably stopped for sure in my life over 70 times. Like, I got a nice car, I got a nice BMW. I've been stopped in that thing. I mean, and then as being black in this white-dominated industry, where there's a lot that comes with that. There's no way that you just got. We're giving you praise because you deserve all the praise, but there's no way that you've gotten there as a black man in America, as a veterinarian, without some like, wow, I can't believe you just said that. And you went from the north to the south. You were in Tuskegee. The whole South thing. How have you been able to navigate and keep this positive energy in the midst of all this social unrest and racial injustice that's finally being exposed via social media and TV?
So as far as keeping the positive energy, man, nobody controls my energy but me. You know, I'm the master of my fate, captain of my ship, and that's just what it is. You know, obviously God's the head, but I control me. I choose to be happy. I choose to be this gregarious person. So I'm never worried about that. Can't nobody take that from me. You know, it's like my birthday. You can't take that one.
Right.
You can't have it. You can't.
What's yours is yours.
Right. You can't have it. But you know, as far as like the situations, man, you know, I was unfortunately faced a lot of that when I first moved here to Texas. Down in Montgomery County, I mean, I had a very serious situation that happened, and I don't like to harp on things because, you know, you never know who wants to decide to pull and play. But, you know, it's one of those things that as a black man, of course, you do face that. There's no secret about it. Nobody needs to play it down. It's real. We know it's real. We see it's real every day now because of social media. It's been real since the beginning of the time. That's just what it is with time here in America. I think what we try to do is work beyond that, because I can control me. I can't control you, right? But I can control my interactions with you potentially. The part that I can, I do. The part that I can't, I try to stay away from. And there are barriers that right now are happening. There are barriers that exist that are right now, because of the happenings, are being broken down. And that's going to be a fight. You know, you never seen a tree just topple over easily. It doesn't work. You got to start literally. If you want a tree to fall easily, the easiest way is to break the roots. Once the roots is gone, it leave any direction you want it to. Even when you're trying to cut the tree down, that's hard as hell.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So to cut a tree down is hard. And if you cut it down, it still can grow back.
Amen.
You got to really get to the roots. And people don't really understand that unless you ever seen a big tree get root rot. If you ever seen a big ass tree get root rot, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You're like, why does this tree fall over so easy? Got to get to the root of the problem. And I think that's what the world is trying to do. And the systems that are in place is, you know, this is synonymous with the tree. It ain't going to go nowhere. We got to really get down there at the bottom and dig it up, because cutting it down and all that ain't going to work. And the way that I've been able to navigate through that is through prayer, being placed in certain positions like Tuskegee University. That's a black, it's a black college university that is the only one in the world with the veterinary school. So I was blessed to go there, because if I went to someplace else, It's not. This is the only place where you can go, and there's predominantly black people there. Wow. So I've had the opportunity to do that and navigate that, but then also my upbringing helped me navigate through some of those things to stay clear of them, and even in the situation to face them with perseverance and a good structure head to be able to get out of them. Sometimes you can't escape them. We see that all the time, and that's very unfortunate. It's very sad. But you know, lions will lay with the lambs, as my mother would say.
Man, you know what? I love that analogy of a tree, because on a trivial level, my neighbor, who's like the jack of all trades, Jesse Norman, was just like, I finally cut this tree down. And that was a really big symbolic thing, because I'm 46. Like, it's been a battle against this tree since I was like 9 or 10. Like, for sure. Like, every year someone tries to take, and it's not even a tree, it's a weed. But if you leave it alone, and for sure 8-9 months, it's back up. Everyone, they've been trying to burn it, gasoline, poison it. And he's like, and this year he feels like, I get it. Who knows? But that's a great analogy. Like, you know, if we really get to the roots of the different things, we're not going to be able to, you know, get out of that. I want to jump into Tuskegee University, because one question I have for you that I sent to you, well, like, why do you think? And correct me if I'm wrong. Straight shoot me down if I'm wrong. But I don't feel like Tuskegee really gets the props. People really know that it is one of the #1 veterinarian medicine universities in the world. Because people from all around the world, because it's an HBU, but white, Latino, Indian, people from around the world go to Tuskegee for their education. Why do you think that? Is that a true assessment that people don't really know that? And if so,
yeah.
why?
Well, it is true. So we got to think about why Tuskegee was developed, and I'm gonna be real brief about it. But Tuskegee was developed out of a necessity for black people to become something and to be able to use something. What I mean by that is, at the time, unfortunately, we were dealing with heavy racism in Alabama, where black farmers couldn't get their animals taken care of because the only vet school or the veterinarians were at Auburn University, which is 10 minutes, like 10, 15 minutes up the road. So you got Auburn University, where Cam Newton was at, Bo Jackson, Charles Barkley, like that Auburn, and then Tuskegee, like right up the road, right up 85. Okay. And the black farmers couldn't get assistance because obviously it was times of racism that was very blatant. And then we couldn't teach, you couldn't go to school to be a vet to come back and take care of your people. So through actions and process and Booker T and all of that and the history that we know, black people got a chance. Well, Tuskegee was designed to basically say, look, get out of our face here. Go be your own vets to your own people and work on your agriculture. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Yeah, and it was designed to just be a scapegoat for a while. And they thought it would limp along and eventually, die off. It didn't. As we always do with excellence, we work the problems out and we do well. So since its inception, it wasn't supposed to be what it was. Mm. We knew what it was going to be, but It wasn't supposed to be that. We took it and we made it that. So that's why it's the only HBCU in the world that has a vet school, because we needed that. As a result, we flourished through the years and we produced these amazing icons that exist in veterinary medicine. Well, understand this. There ain't but so many veterinary schools, hence why it's so competitive. You might have 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 medical schools in a city or a state, whereas you might have one in every state. Some of them got 2. Alabama got 2. We know, we just explained why. California too big, so it's got 2 now. I remember when Western came along. There's states like South Carolina don't even have a vet school. Our students from Clemson University come to Tuskegee as contract students because they don't even have one. So Tuskegee is just this beautiful place that allows for not only black people that want to be veterinarians to be educated traditionally and then moving forward, but then other people that a lot of times, unfortunately, it's their only choice. And I think that answers the question. There have been people in the past that only went to Tuskegee because that was their only choice. Wow. They didn't get into the vet school of their choice. So they go out and be these veterinarians that are great, and they don't come back. They don't give back. They don't go back and fetch it. We call it the Sankofa bird. you know, they turn back and fetch it. They go back and help where they came from. That help hand up, and that's unfortunate. But I think part of it is because it's a HBCU. It's not. You don't think that would be there. The other thing is Tuskegee is really small. Let's not forget that. It's an old country town, beautiful place. I call it one of my second homes, but it's a small place. You can miss it, you know. But then in addition to that, again, you don't really know about HBCUs if that's not what you're looking for, especially from a predominantly white ran field. So that would be the reasons why. But again, we don't need the recognition, do you? You need to some, you know, real G's move in silence like lasagna. Lil Wayne said that.
I love
real G's move in silence like a giant.
Good day. The great day. Hey, so what's your stance on kids going back to college, especially like young adults that want to get involved with animal medicine? Because right now, I mean, colleges are like my son, they like last minute they called an audible and said only freshmen coming back this year. Like up to sophomore, junior, senior, and I'm paying that money as a parent. I'd be like, when his verdict still out, they might send him home. So what if for a young person that's watching this show right now, that's like, and that's a Dr. Blue fan, watching the TV show, following your history, and they're like, I want to go to school for veterinary medicine, but in the midst of COVID, what's your advice to that student?
So as far as my take on the school, I don't know, bro. You know, I have 3 children and they're doing virtual learning. I don't know if it's safe to go back or not. I mean, at the end of the day, I come to work every day. I'm on the fence about it. I got my pros and I got my cons, man. And that's just being honest. So I don't know what to say about that other than I got my pros and I got my cons. I'm not going to get political with it.
If a kid is saying, I call them kids, they're not kids, young adults.
I understand what I'm saying. I say kids too.
If a young adult that wants to, are they really going to get that educational online?
Yeah,
to do what you went to school for?
Online is so intense.
So I have an issue with it personally. Not just from a financial standpoint of saying you're paying for an in-person experience, but things like medicine, I've always been pro in-person. You know, a lot of colleges and universities, due to, you know, succumbing to pressure of people in their environment, not liking, for example, for you to do live surgery. You know, my thing is, if you're going to work on my heart, I want you to have worked on somebody else's heart. I don't want you to have worked on a virtual heart and say you're going to transplant my heart. If another person wants that, fine. You be their doctor. I don't want you as my doctor. I want the guy who's been through a bunch of hearts before you cut my chest open.
Right.
You need, you know, one of the things that I was taught is you actually, as a doctor, you need to understand the sight of blood. You'd be surprised how many students I have had under my tutelage in Vegas that see blood and get faint. And they're great doctors now, but they haven't had the opportunity because in their school, they stopped doing live surgery. And they may have not had the rotation or had the opportunity to really do surgery. Or they might not have been the surgeon. They might have been anesthesiologists. And they can't deal with the pressure. Yeah. Well, it is. And I don't want to get political because I know there's ways around it. But I still feel like, and this is Dr. Blue's personal opinion. And this is one reason why, you know, I'm doing my Diarra Blue education initiative, is because I need to make sure that the students that want to be at a certain level get to that level. And I want to help supplement those students with opportunities that they may not get at their colleges, or especially because the world may be going the way it is right now. They need to be able to do that. And I personally think that medicine is a hands-on sport. That's full contact. I don't believe we can play two-hand touch football.
No.
That medicine is, I'm tackling you, boom, bam. You know, I'm talking about John Madden. Boom, that was a good one. You know, you need to be hit hard, because when it comes to saving an animal's life, you have got to be trained to be poised. Right. Everybody ain't Denzel Washington can just come in the room or Christopher Walken, who can just be cool and calm, Al Pacino. No, some people is frantic, man. You got to be able to deal with that. You have to be able to experience it. And I think it's important to be real time with that. Doesn't mean that you can't get the education online, because at the end of the day, I say this all the time, veterinary medicine it's a self-taught thing. Nobody can teach you medicine in 4 years, whether it's human or animal medicine. Your professor gives you this much to read. You got to go and read all of this. It's on you. So again, it's still self-taught, but then the experiences and things that go with it, man, it's just so important. And a lot of that you get from the elders that teach you, that's been there, done that.
Right.
You know, it's just so important to have those mentors, man. It's a good mentor.
I gotta jump in and you just made me think about something. I don't know where we were. I don't know how I end up hearing you say this and where I was at, but you gave a whole lecture on the cleaning of the bathroom. Like you were going
in the what?
You gave a whole lecture to someone about cleaning the bathroom.
Yeah, that was here at the office.
You weren't even joking. And I'm like, thank God I'm not the only psychotic OCD cleaning again. And you were going in. You were like, this is how this bathroom has to be cleaned. This is pre-COVID. This is pre-Lysol shortage. This is pre-everything. You're going in on one of those like Toriano moments, like when Chanel just up on me and like, I can't even deal with him right now. He's tripping out. Right. That's one of these moments, Chanel, for real. Like, I
was trying not to be, I don't try to be condescending or disrespectful to my staff, but as the owner and as the leader, you have to approach it. And my thing is, look, not only y'all use the bathroom, my clients, and I judge people by their bathroom. I know other people do. I hate going to a restaurant, the bathroom look like a trash rest stop. I don't even want to eat there. That's disgusting. And my thing is, I don't want my hospital to look like that. When I had to clean the bathroom, my dad was like, you have to get on your hands and knees and wipe the baseboards and the walls. You got towel. Like, you don't just line the toilet and rinse out the sink and think you cleaned the bathroom. That's not it. So again, to your point is, that's like the experience. If that's your experience of cleaning the bathroom, you suck at cleaning bathrooms, and you need to know that. Like, we shouldn't make it where it's, oh, well, he's cleaned the bathroom to the best of his ability. Well, his ability is bad. Let's help him do better instead of saying his ability is okay for him. No, you can't do any better. That's a different conversation, right? I'm not talking about disability. I'm talking about lack of ability. Those are two different things. So my thing was about the bathroom. I'm sorry, man, I just went on a tangent, but that bathroom, I don't like that. Like, clean the bathroom right. And don't make it like, well, this is how I clean. Well, you don't clean good enough. Let me show you the way to do it. I.e., anything that you do like vet school. If this is how you do it, it's not bad, but you could do better.
I love it, though, because it made me think about the hands-on part, because you weren't giving the lecture. Chanel, he was in there, like, give me the rag. This is how you do it. Like, you were in there. I'm like, not only does he have time to do a TV show, perform surgery on exotic animals and dogs and cats, run the family. He's like, I'm like, because I've been doing this for 20 years. Most of the time, that would have been like an office manager thing. And you have a huge clinic. I mean, it's not like it's one or two people. There's 6 doctors.
Seven now. 7 doctors here and 1 at the other one.
7 doctors, plethora of support staff. But here you are, taking the time to break down. And it was this eloquent, like, speech about, which just showed your level of caring of like, hey, all things matter, and just I want to go back to your family, man, because your family is a beast. Shout out to T, because T, your brother,
man,
he was, I don't know if he still is, but I know he was part of like McDonald's global marketing, which is extremely hard to get on that team. Chicago, right here.
Hamburg University.
Hamburg University. Probably get on, period, as any person, but then as a Black American male, he's one. I love marketing. To be on that team of McDonald's global marketing, and then your sister, who's producer, who came up with the concept of the TV show, right? Who's in TV. So it's like your mom, who I met, who's a beautiful person, gave birth to like these 3 like superstars from
I appreciate that, man.
From D-Town. Like, what's your? I just want to send, because you and I, we joked, we had fun. We've been up already talking, blasting Jay-Z, getting pumped up pre-game. Like, what's some great advice, man? Like, because a lot of times, like right now, a lot of people are just like really bummed out about life and just the social unrest and everything that's happening. What's some advice? Just
stay positive.
What's some Dr. Blueism that we can give?
So, like Chanel just said, stay positive. You know, being happy is a choice.
Yes.
You got the option to wake up pissed off. You got the option to be sad, depressed. I'm not gonna do that, you know. And
channel
I'm not talking about, you know.
Yep.
I don't want to offend anybody that's listening that feels like, oh, well, we deal with depression, anxiety. You don't understand. Well, first off, I do understand. Second off, I'm not talking about you if there's a condition. I'm talking about you that, with or without a condition, still choose to not be on the upside, to look at it as half empty versus half full. I like to think my cup overrunneth. You know, Dr. Ross, man, he always tells me this one. He like, that man with no shoes be thinking he got a problem until you see the man with no feet.
No feet, right?
Like, you sitting over here complaining about not having shoes, which is a big deal. But then there's people out here that don't have feet, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I hate to get emotional. So my mother, anybody who don't know, my mother's in a wheelchair. She's been that way for 28 plus years, man. Yeah. And we were driving down the street towards, we used to go to Comerica Bank right next over to the library on the east side of Detroit, right off 6 Mile and Gratiot. And there's this man who's walking down the street with a really bad gait. Just, you know, like, and I'm not trying to be funny, but he, you know, walking really bad. And I remember this to this day, bro. I almost get tears. My mama literally said, she's like, ooh, I would love to walk like him. Mm. And I'm a kid, dog. And I'm a kid. My mother says this to me, and I'm like, and I think about it as an adult now, like, she can't get up out the chair and walk by herself, y'all. Mm. And you think you got problems? Like, man, grow up. Go get you a day job, as we used to say. You ain't got no problems, bro. And don't get me wrong, I'm not discounting people's problems, right? Because
you always got to dissect the positive out of that negative. There's always something to be grateful for, and I always try to have that attitude. Yep.
Always somebody
that's going to trump what you're complaining about. Yep. You know, over what you have. Yeah.
Like, oh man, my arm hurt. Well, you could be dead.
Or you could not even have an arm.
Yeah. So, you know, just things like that. And like I said, it sounds cavalier or very, you know, cliche, simple, but the cliches. But the truth is, you have to choose that. The other thing is, treat the doorman like you're gonna treat the president. You know, that's another advice. You know, the bottom of the company is the same as the top of the company. You know, it don't mean the job description is different. It doesn't mean that they have different jobs, but you know, greet the janitor just like you greet Dr. Blue. Don't treat me no different than you treat my person that's cleaning kennel.
And their job is even more like difficult and challenging than Dr. Blue sometimes.
Yeah, because they got to deal with me.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Their job is more challenging. Their job is definitely more challenging. So, you know. It's tough, man. It's life.
Yeah.
We love the show. I mean, I remember when I was training dogs. I looked up. I turned Animal Planet on. I was like, "There's 3 human beings that look like me on Animal Planet, right?" Because we know there's some phenomenal dog trainers, veterinarians, groomers that are people of color that are out there.
Absolutely.
You all are the first one, we got to change that for sure. But the first ones outside of Caesar, who's our Latino brother, and thank you, Caesar, because Caesar really paved the way for a lot of us as far as seeing how we look on TV. Because a lot of times people think black folks are thinking Mike Vick, they're thinking that we're not into dogs like that. And there you are on the highest level possible with veterinary medicine. Where do you see? Because I know, like right now, with Hollywood is all over the place. Like I just start seeing the first movie commercial thing straight to Netflix, straight on demand. Like they've already put it up on theaters.
Absolutely.
So what do you see like happening in the future as far as the TV shows and filming?
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not worried about it because it's not what we set out to do. I'm very happy we've had the opportunity, and again, I choose to be happy. So if we rode that last wave, we rode it. But I would like to continue. You know, I think that we have a great show. I think we impress a lot of people. I think people get a lot of good feelings out of it, especially, you know, young children being able to see us on TV and being able to put themselves in our shoes. I don't know where we are, to be honest. You know about production. Part of it is an insurance problem, right? Just simply being safe enough to have a crew to be insured by a company that will insure them to fly to a place and film it. Insurance companies are probably looking at that like, whoa, I don't know. The directors, the people, the producers, the executive producers, the people who have the money, the banks, they're not sure about it because they're like, what if somebody gets sick? Well, then we got to pay for this, and then this is us, and this is our fault. So I don't know what they're thinking. I think we have a good enough. I know we had a good enough show for Animal Planet to put us on again. But again, I don't know what's going on in COVID if they have the budget for it anymore. Right. I hope that they do. And I hope everybody that's listening, watches the show and really press for us to really have another season. But at the end of the day, if we don't, I'm still a veterinarian, and that's what I set out to do. And I still can do interviews like this. What I did on TV only was illustrating it for the world to see. I still do it for my clients every day. I do it for the kids that come in here that, come in as intern, or externs, or apprentice, and at the end of the day, the beauty is, I guess I just strap a GoPro on my back and walk around and make it myself. Who knows? I don't know.
You just made me think of something that we say in the hood. That a lot of times people, even they say this in the hood, but they're using it in the wrong context. But you just said it in a way that what it truly means is that you truly are doing it for the culture. You really are, because that's the cool thing about you guys. Like, even when I was down there on the show, you all weren't tripping that there were these filmmakers and directors and everything. You're like you said in another interview I watched, you're really a documentary. You're not gonna, like you said, you're not gonna put your hand in the mouth of the tiger that you're working with, but you have worked with tigers and stuff before. If you caught it the first time, you caught it. There are no redo. It really is following you, boom, real life.
Yeah. I'm not Dave Chappelle. They don't pay me enough. like Dave Chappelle said, even if they did, I'm not putting my hand in the lion's mouth twice. I'm gonna go in there to get what I need to get. If you didn't catch it, I'm sorry. We'll make good TV about the fact that we missed it. We can make good jokes, but it's like you said, it is serious. You got to be serious with these pets, and these are people's lives. So I'm not for it. I'm not for the crazy part of it. I'm for what we're doing, the good part, the good energy, catching it in real time best we can.
Man, I'm just loving the fact that we was able, man, to just jam out like a whole amazing hour, man. And I appreciate your time. Like, you don't even know how busy you are. I do, because I've been down there and I've seen it, man. Like, the sipping around and everything. So, brother, I love you, man. Like, for real.
Much love, bro.
That you give it to me, for real. It's like to put me on the show and everything. Man, if a person wants to find out more about the animal hospital, if they're in the Houston area, where should they go?
So you go to CypherAnimalHospital.com. There, our website, you can find both of our locations. You also can go to Animal Planet Go, the app, and check out the vet life. You can follow me on Instagram at dr.blue_the-vet-life. On Facebook, I think I'm Diarra Blue. I barely do anything with Facebook, just be honest. Social media ain't my thing, but I'll follow you back, or you can catch some of the cool stuff I do, man. And like I said, just CypherAnimalHospital.com, where you can really support us and come into our hospitals as we grow and expand to our next practice that hopefully we'll have in the next couple of months.
Man, thank you, Dr. Blue, for an amazing show, brother. Thank you, Chanel.
Thank you, Dr. Blue.
Watching us. I'm sure we haven't seen Donnie's Wolfkeeper till tomorrow. And as I always say, there's one alpha dog, and that's you. Go out and love somebody hard. Peace. Wolfkeeper. Thank you, Dr. Blue. We love you back. Thank you all.
Peace and love. Happy Wednesday.
Peace.